Like 2.
All right, up and walking.
What's that?
Said we are up and walking.
Oh, we're walking? Going for a little walk in the neighborhood. Gonna wonder where I can put my stuff and not lose it tomorrow. Going for a walk in the neighborhood. Oh no, whose dog is that? I don't know. Oh no, it's coming for me. I hope the owner sees so I don't get hit by their dog. Oh, we're gonna take a walk in the neighborhood by their dog. Basically my own Mr. Rogers.
And if everyone could get it on their phones and their computers and their tablets and their Google Glasses, milk every possible view that we can tonight, because that's what we're supposed to do.
Dude, I am excited about the fact that For All Mankind got tagged for season 6 and we haven't even gotten season 5 yet.
I know. Season 5 drops this Friday, man.
I am so excited. Also, I don't know if you watched the Legacy of Monsters, Monarch. Season 2. Already more monsters. Like, one of the things we wanted from season 1, they've already brought like 2x in the first 2 episodes. Really good so far. What was the other one? I think if I watched anything else new this week. I was watching Code 3 with Dwight Schrute. Watched that one last night. Very good. Very funny. About the life of a paramedic in LA. And it's played main character Dwight. It's fantastic. Rainn Wilson.
Love how you give your best reviews when we're not even live on the air yet. I mean, we're live, but we're not technically no one is supposed to hear this, but because I'm such a terrible producer, everyone can right now. I are bad at podcast.
Oh, dude. Honestly, this is how we should wrap the episodes, but I don't know.
We need No. No, because by the time those credits roll, I'm done for the night. You're done for the night. The viewers are especially done for the night.
That's true. No, honestly, I feel like that. But the idea of like wrapping it with a quick best things we've watched this week.
All right, saturate the comments
Also
section,
doing
please.
it in the back funnier, honestly.
Rothschild banks are getting raided in Europe. Oops, I said that one on stream. Stuff up, and I'm like, hey, dumbass, big stupid retard dumbass. Oh, all over my sail. Morality. Let's see, I've got my 80s glasses. Alright. Tonight, we postpone our Star Wars Revival Part 4 that we also forgot to promote anyway for another round of Just Pop Culture. All this right now on the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. And welcome back once again to another round of the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. I'm Petey York, joined by Mr. Pollo Zapatos. Unfortunately not joined tonight by Corione, as he has decided to depart the Writer Brothers over creative differences. No, I'm just kidding. That's not happening. He's just out battling things of the mind, and we wish him all the best. We look forward to him being here because we really... I don't know about you, John, but I really needed Star Wars Episode 4 this week. I was looking forward to talking about it. I'm hoping we can maybe do a special this week for it. What do you think?
Oh, dude, honestly, the idea of doing a special sounds fun. I've got the time. I've got a screaming baby here now.
I finally getting the time, too. I forgot what this was like to actually, be able to do stuff. I've missed it,
Right, and also be able to plan your schedule and it be reliable.
Exactly. And, show up to my podcasts, play my video games, and then soon, streaming video games, and we might have a second podcast on Saturdays again. But we'll see. Just little baby steps, because we were hoping to have new logos out this week.
Saturday one, you're finally neighbors with Jay again. You got to actually get him in person. You guys got to do a couch pod.
And I'm gonna make him host this show sometimes. I invited him on tonight. He's definitely got the pop culture chops, but I guess he just doesn't want to show up on Tuesdays and internet-work his channel and promote his Twitch stream to our 388 semi-gamers, semi-readers, Speaking of reading, we need to do a book this year. At least one book a year to start once again. Missed when we did those. But in the meanwhile, here's what most everybody shows up here for. Minecraft World concept art reveals a new theme park coming in 2027. Ooh. Well, that's really good. Minecraft World, a theme park based on the video game from Mahjong Studios, will officially bring creepers and crafting tables to the real world when it opens its doors in 2027. Mahjong Studios and Merlin Entertainments announced their plans for Merlin Entertainments? Is that really their name? Or is this written by AI Slop? Announced their plans for a $70 million project. $70 million project. Right, I can read today. Based on a gaming titan during Minecraft Live March 2026 today. Although plans for its debut Chessington World of Adventures in Greater London are still coming together, future attendees are told to expect a park inspired by iconic biomes, mods, items, and more. You can see a concept for Minecraft World, which features wooden houses, creepers, TNT blocks, and even a nether dining area below. Oh, here, we'll take a look at these quick little images. Oh yeah, that looks like Praiseland from The Simpsons. King David stops and reads all his psalms to you, which there's some people who occasionally watch this show be like, oh, that sounds like a great ride. Yeah, I'm sure it would be for you. Oh yeah, no, this is basically Blocko Land, but just Minecraft edition. I mean, I'm sure it's cool. Are you a Minecraft fan? Tell me below and let us know what you think.
Oh, dude, honestly, this looks like a fun one to do. Like, I've done Legoland, done Disneyland, now I've got a kiddo who loves Minecraft. Yeah, that'd be a cool one to go see.
All right, well, Minecraft Land is officially Pollo approved. All right, thank you, IGN.
Mostly in terms of, like, if you think about it, like, what is a theme park? This is a pretty solid, entrenched theme that's also not, like,
no,
I just heavily biased towards anything. It's literally just biased towards self-creation.
This looks like Lego Indiana Jones, This is, like I said, it's just Legoland with a Minecraft skin. I never really realized just how much Minecraft really is Legos until it's really put into the form of a theme park, I guess.
But dude, I would not put it past the developer just going like, yeah, I'm gonna do a video game for my Legos, but I don't want to own, like, I don't want to mess with copyright infringement.
Yeah.
And then just going for it.
Well, I gotta wonder where they're building this thing, because it's like, are they just repurposing a Legoland? Minecraft World represents a meaningful milestone in our ongoing journey to expand the Minecraft universe. Senior Creative Director of Entertainment at Minecraft, Horfy Fans Off-Slate, said in a statement, "We're thrilled to have been partnered with Merlin Entertainments," I guess it really is Merlin Entertainments, "to realize a place where you can literally be in the Minecraft overworld and have an adventure of your own with your family and friends. The team at Merlin Entertainments and Mahjong have worked hard to craft an experience that feels immersive, authentic, welcoming, and we can't wait for our community to experience it. Mahjong and Merlin tell fans to look forward to a thrilling world first coaster, interactive adventures, epic block-built playscapes, and themed retail and dining. Like other IP-based theme parks before it, Minecraft World will pull from its universe it's inspired by for attractions through additional details remain under wraps." So yeah, there you go, John, right there. It will be the first major theme.
That's what makes it fun. Like, it's, if you really think about it, what is Disneyland? It's just Disney shit. With roller coasters, and the roller coasters are the part that makes it fun. So like, oh no, I'm going to a roller park.
Yeah.
With
Still building
Minecraft. Like,
Minecraft World for its grand opening. Where?
yeah,
Where? Everything else announced. What else was announced? Like, okay, where? Thrilling new theme park for 2027. Oh, maybe it is like Blockoland, where they can just tear it down every night and then just ship it to a new state. So it's like a carnival. All right. Thank you, IGN, for the fun article. We're now going to move on to the Hollywood Reporter with box office. Project Hail Mary rockets to galactic 80.6 million, year's top start, and Amazon MGM best. Honestly, I keep hearing nothing but good things just in people's thumbnails, let alone actually being, taking the time to watch one of these reviews, because this was one of those movies I was honestly contemplating watching anyway. Have you gone to see Project Hail Mary at all? I might have to do this for a date night or something.
No, this one definitely seems like it deserves a full watch.
A full watch and review from the Writer brothers. Yeah, I have to agree.
Because like you said, the thumbnails, I think I watched, I like Critical Drinker because whenever he likes something, he doesn't spoil it. He just goes, here's the general plot, and it's worth finding out all the details because it ends right. And you're like, oh, okay. He didn't tell me anything important. And so, like, I watched his, and the way he talked about it, like, I have yet to disagree with what he likes, and I've also have yet to disagree with what he doesn't like, except for, like, twice. Especially in terms of, like, if it's a show, he'll be like, this show sucks, and here's why. And I'll be like, I don't know, man, give it a chance. And then I'll watch it, and I'll be like, all right, I guess you're right. So that's why I say, like, only twice. But after his review, I saw, like, 4 or 5 more reviews saying that movie is extremely good. One person even said it was their all-time favorite so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that have even gone out to compare it to Interstellar. So I'll see what the article says. Defying all odds, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling, blasted off with a domestic launch of 80.6 million, the best showing of the year so far, in addition to setting a new best for Amazon Studios. Congratulations. The news was just as good overseas, where the sci-fi epic collected 60.4 million overseas from more than 80 markets. It placed number 1 in 64 global launch of 141 million, which is likely the best start of 2026 so far for a Hollywood title. Yeah, especially this early in the season. Project Hail Mary is a notable win for Amazon MGM Studios as it tries once again to become a full-fledged major Hollywood studio. And its successful handling of the film couldn't be more perfect timing as David Ellison's Paramount Skydance prepares to merge with Warner Bros. a deal that has left many in Hollywood reeling over massive job losses and concern about fewer movies getting made that stray outside the bounds of proven franchises. Well, that's what happens when we get, 10 years of Kurtzman's Star Trek and it just sucks. We'll get on to Starfleet Academy's cancellation towards the end of the show.
It's not like us, the people, are like, you know what, we want less movies and we want less originality. Like, somebody else is saying that's where we're at, and it's like, we've never been there. If you listen to movie reviews 50 years ago, the big cats will say the exact same thing. People just aren't watching these types of movies anymore. And it's always like they're like loading up for what they want to deliver. They're like, we've done poll testing, and it turns out what people want is space battles and explosions, and 7 movies of Michael Bay come out in the next 5 years.
Right. Several things are the same thing.
You made that up. You didn't do any testing. You just said what you wanted to hear so that you could start doing what you wanted to do in the first place, which again is fair. It's your project. You don't have to lie or blame us.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I feel like some IP, some group right before their big investment call decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do nostalgia bait. And that's what everybody decided to do for the last 10 years, because statistics and market research shows that's what's going to make us money.
Yep.
You're bad. I mean, guessing when you could have just gone, hey, kids, what do you want to watch? And then every kid will tell you 500 stories, and you're like, all right, writers, I'm going to pay you a bunch of money to write these. But then you don't pay your writers.
Yeah. And then they go on strike, and then we get content.
And then you wonder why you have bad writing.
Yeah. Legendary lost episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 found and posted to YouTube. A complete episode from the first season of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Star Force, The Fugitive Alien 2. Okay, that movie alone just sounds right up our alley. Which hasn't been viewed by the public since its original air date of November 24th, 1988, has been uploaded to YouTube. Reddit user Arthur Pewdie acquired the VHS tape as explained in the post in our MST3K, sourced from a garage sale. Mystery Science Theater 3000 has aired on and off over numerous cancellations and returns across networks like Comedy Central, the Sci-Fi Channel, and a recent return on Netflix. The series started as a local production and independent Minnesota-based UHF station KTMA in 1988. As legendary to MST3K fans as the missing Doctor Who episodes, MST3K aired locally in Season 1. It didn't get to Comedy Central until Season 2, and wasn't publicly made available at the time, but there were other reasons for the episodes from the KTMA years not appearing. In 1995's The Mystery Science Theater 3000 Amazing Colossal Episode Guide, these episodes appeared only as a text list with no descriptions. The MST3K team explains, we don't talk much of those early days anymore. We release these shows and cash in, well, the shows were seminal and formative, which is to say they weren't very good. They go on to explain, they don't have the legal rights to the episodes, and even if they did, there's a reason why musicians and artists have a lot of work unreleased, and the typical reason is it's not very good at all, and they don't want it seen. Damn. I mean, these guys have always been, really good about fan service and stuff, but that's a very, I get it. It's understandable. This is basically like, finding a Pink Floyd, either A-track or cassette tape from the early days that they don't want converted into an official release album. So.
But dude, honestly, I feel like the fact that they're just letting it go to YouTube is awesome, because you don't really care what you think about how your old work was. True fans are like, they're actually cool to see the human side. Like, oh, you guys did earn your reputation in the future. You started somewhere. But even like, just from what I've seen of MST3K, it's always been one of the funniest podcasts. And I know it's a TV show and it's always been like a movie-based satire. But like, if you think about it, it is 100% a watch-along podcast in the best way ever.
Well, not a yes and no. Like, it's a commentary track.
Right, but
it's
not
essentially
by the producers of the film, which
it's
is
essentially you're right. In a way, it's kind of an early form satirical review of bad art. But at the same time,
Bro, they didn't keep it to art. That's the funniest part. Like, my favorite MST3K
all
is the one where they talk
video
about
projects are art.
the hygiene one, where they're talking about what kids used to watch in the 60s or something, and having to do with hygiene and like the daily life, and they're just ripping on it the whole time. And I was like that's why I say it is 100% more of like a watch along podcast. Like 100% illegal now today with copyright and all that stuff, but for some reason they were able to get through with it because it was more of like a movie.
Because,
And, like,
well,
they did
no,
have a
because
studio name.
what they were doing in the process of giving commentary is it technically would fall under First Amendment fair use.
No.
But
exactly. But if anybody tried that today, it would get copyrighted during the stream.
Well, yes, if we're doing a live stream, that's why Riff Track sells their commentary tracks separately. So you can still do it today, but the reason they were able to do it was because it's old movies that were really bad, that were not well received, that were essentially getting a second chance, because even though the movies that they tend to rip into are terrible, they're getting another chance at being seen by another audience that they wouldn't have otherwise seen the light of day again, because no one wants to talk about or promote it. And so, yeah, it might suck having your artwork, relegated to MST3K ridicule, but at the same time, it's gonna end up living on more prevalently with audiences forever because of those commentary tracks. And so, yeah, I would say it is a early form of commentary of review, because they're literally picking stuff that people don't want to watch or ever see again to tear into it and make fun of it. And so that's why we get that's a pretty good point. An early form of podcasting is it's definitely an early form of commentary.
They watch along, mostly like those live streamers that'll be like, hey, I'm watching this and you can join me in the Discord. So like other people can watch you watching it, but like they only do their voice for the recording, so they don't get copyright strikes. It's that. But like those three were always hilarious. Even if it was just one guy and he like scripted most of it, like it was still hilarious. Like it's right up there with Family Guy, but it felt so much more in real time. And that's the part where I say podcasting, because like there is no other format that feels like that, except for the podcast where you listen to a conversation evolve.
All right, if you're a fan of sewer mutants in New York, then you definitely want to turn up the podcast for this one. Oh, you piece of crap. Frank Miller draws his first ever Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover. IDW is going all out to make the 300th issue of TMNT a special collectible issue. Frank Miller was one of the major influences on Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird when the duo, then in their 20s, created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the early 1980s. Miller's popular work on Daredevil, which centered on a hero who received his powers from radioactive elements, finds a sensei and fights a ninja clan named the Hand, were direct elements that the budding writer and artist borrowed in their creation of four turtles who, thanks to radioactive elements, become anthropomorphic, find a sensei to fight a ninja clan named the Foot in New York City. So it's fitting that a little overdue that Miller would come to work a TMNT cover. Say that 30,000 gajillion times fast. Miller, known for his groundbreaking work on The Dark Knight Returns and Sin City, is providing one of the covers for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 300, IDW's celebration of a milestone publishing landmark. It was fun to jump into the playground with the ninjas for this cover and reminisce that they were born by Peter and Kevin as homage to my Daredevil run, said Miller in a statement. This one is for the fans. Man, what an outstanding guy. No wonder people love this dude's work, along with it being really well written and well illustrated. It's also just what a good dude. Where where was I? As a lifelong Ninja Turtles fan, it's awesome to be able to celebrate the landmark 300 issue of TMNT, and we're all going all out to celebrate, said IDW's director of sales, Ryan Bauckham, in a statement. From a blind bag with an amazing artist lineup to Frank Miller's first ever TMNT drawing and a never-before-seen piece by Kevin and Peter, TMNT number 300 will be the ultimate reading and collecting experience. Enough from me, though. Get a look at this cover. That is badass.
Oh yeah, no, that is dope.
And this is the cover that they both did. Yeah, that Kevin and Peter did. So that, I mean, that's really cool with the city backdrop and I like that. But for getting Frank Miller's art on your 300th issue, that is oh. He incorporated, this is supposed to be, he's basically using Daredevil like it's part of the style. Like if you look at their masks and their faces, I know they always look like that in the comic, but like it looks more like, you know, derived from Daredevil. But I will say, I like this. So talk about our awesome pop culture feel-good story to the day. Frank Miller is still awesome. Who would have thought?
Didn't let the celebrity get to him. Just kept doing his art.
Yes.
And well done.
Much thanks, of course, to The Hollywood Reporter for that article, bringing that to us. Now back to IGN. For Project Hail Mary's Ryan Gosling confirms Marvel discussions to play Ghost Rider. It's a complicated situation. Well, yeah, Ryan, you're probably going to be the next Pedro Pascal if we keep seeing you everywhere. Ryan Gosling has confirmed he's had discussions with...
Ryan Gosling is the king. We want to see him everywhere.
I mean, we say that now. We think that now. And then the next thing you know, we're on the bandwagon of, oh, geez, can't get enough of Ryan Gosling, can we? Even though he's everywhere. Oh, yeah. Again.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like, that was, like, Ryan Gosling is our generation's George Clooney.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
not that he gets annoying. It's,
you know,
eventually...
Honestly, I hate that you said that just now. Like, seriously, you need to come down to Key West, and I'm going to buy you a bag of dicks and give it to you because how dare you suggest and tease me with the possibility of Batnip's Ryan Gosling. Do not suggest that he is not our generation's Ryan Gosling until he plays Batman with nipples in the armor.
Bat nipples.
Then you can say, yes. I mean, I suppose if he shows up in the Ocean's 11 remake, or no, wait, wasn't he in the original Ocean's 11? Wasn't he, like, one of the background dudes or lesser guys? Because...
Which one?
Ocean's 11, because it was like 7 or 8 really famous guys, and then 3 nobodies that are now somebodies. No?
I don't think he was in Oceans. I feel like he was still doing, like, romance.
Or am I getting him confused with somebody else that was, like, up and coming? Yeah, there was that.
Technically, Matt Damon was on his rise.
Matt Damon.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Podcast derailed.
Dude. Team America derailed. That's been going on since I was like 3.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Parker and Trey Stone, if you guys are watching, first of all, you owe Satan an apology, and second of all, Team America 2 win. Like, really? Is there a better time for another Team America movie? No, now is the time. Team America 2, the Epstein Boogaloo. All right. Ryan Gosling has confirmed he's had discussions.
2, the island that must be protected.
Right,
yeah. Be them trying to cover up the files and constantly getting caught.
The forbidden island of forbiddenness. Yeah. Ryan Gosling has confirmed he's in discussions with Marvel. So to confirm he is not confirmed for Ghost Rider, we are not suggesting that Ryan Gosling is playing Ghost Rider. Well, that would be really cool if Ryan Gosling was playing Ghost Rider. We are not saying right now that Ryan Gosling is playing Ghost Rider. That is not something that we are saying at this time. Ryan Gosling is playing Ghost Rider is currently fake news. Now, would it be cool if he played Ghost Rider? I don't know, because like, I thought so until Genius here really kind of hit me with that. What if he were to go to the DC side and play Batman? Gosling as Bruce Wayne.
He can do both.
Ghost Rider, yeah, Ghost Rider by day, Bruce Wayne by night.
If they tried to put Gosling in as Batman, there'd be way too many comparisons between him and Sparkly Vampire. Because they're basically like the same melodrama.
I don't know. All I can say is,
in that case, I think it would be better if Gosling was Daredevil because follow Nick Cage's footsteps, and then just maybe he can put on the red cape and be Superman.
Follows Nick Cage's footsteps. Then he's gonna be Merlin, and then he's gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why I did Sean Connery as Nicolas Cage. Can't even do impressions correctly. Man, I really suck at this job. All right, moving on to the Hollywood Reporter, because I think was there anything else you wanted to say about Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, which has not been confirmed yet?
I mean, dude, he's going for the full belt as far as Infinity Stones go. He's got Star Wars coming up, might be Marvel, might throw in a DC there. Like, I still think Drive is his best movie. But
for me, I haven't seen Drive, but I really did like him in Blade Runner 2048. I thought he was probably the highlight of that film.
Oh no, he's great in everything. Geez. I still think Drive was his best movie because, like, as far as like one character being the main character, that story is so chaotic for so few words, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, no, that's why it's my favorite one of his. But like also like everything else he's in, like that's what makes Drive so great is how far like he's gone with all of his other stuff.
Yep. All right, and we're back. All right, next up, Saturday Night Live UK makes its debut. Celebrity cameos, edgy humor, and predictably mixed reactions. Tina Fey hosted the inaugural episode of SNL UK, broadcast live from London Saturday night and watched by over 220,000 people in Britain. Was it funny? Hollywood Reporter rounds up the sketches and reviews. The reviews are in for Saturday Night Live UK, hosted by Tina Fey, with a magical guest, Wet Leg, in its debut this weekend. The sketches on the first ever international spin-off of Lorne Michaels' hit NBC show, impressively executed by a relatively unknown cast and watched on Sky by over 220,000 people, were wide-ranging and made use of the UK's over-performing Rolodex of British talent. Cold Open began with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, played as a waddling, anxious mess by George, I'm going to mess up that last name, enlisting the help of a Gen Z consultant, Jack Shep, to work up the courage to send a voice note to US President Donald Trump and declining to go to war with him. I'll do anything, says Farakis, says Starmer, except take a stand. Hamed Eminisham was on standby as a psychotic deputy PM David Lemmy. Then it came to Faye's opening monologue from...
Sycophantic.
What the hell? I can read. Then it came to Faye's opening monologue from the set, not dissimilar at all from its American counterpart. It's an absolute honor and kind of historic, said Faye to a live audience. Guys, I'm the youngest person to ever host SNL UK. That's good. God damn it. I'm gonna have to watch it now. Faye was made to answer a couple of queries from the crowd, including from Bridgerton's Nicola Collin, in the first of several celebrity cameos across the night. Why not get British icons such as David Beckham, Judi Dench, or Shrek, said the Irish woman, to host the inaugural episode. How do I put this politely, answered Faye. None of you fuckers would do it. Michael Cera was also in attendance, probing Faye on why the Brits are allowed to swear on this version of SNL. After 9 p.m. in the UK, known as the Watershed, anything goes. And Graham Norton even appeared to help Faye with managing the crowd. I have a gift for making American celebrities likable to a British audience, said the chat show host. This was followed by a string of well-performed sketches, including a spoof skincare advert where the woman looked so young that their partners are arrested for being pedophiles. A David Attenborough host Last Supper with dead celebrities such as Winston Churchill,
Dude,
Princess
I'm gonna
Diana,
be
and
honest, this sounds like
this
SNL
actually
after
sounds
dark.
funny as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I may have to subscribe so I can watch fucking SNL UK. Like, this actually... Yeah, we're far too taken with the which nibbles order to the table, and a Hamlet sketch with Shakespeare too vain to return his wife's affections. What started as a Palma School-esque cunty little airing and slutty little chain ends in in Hamnet accidentally snorting ketamine from his father's bag. In a segment aimed to create the success of Colin Jost and Michael Che's weekend update, cast members Ania Magliano and Patty Young got in some searing one-liners at the expense of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and the Beckham family fallout. Good. Then came the Faye-led bit with a live Paddington bear experience, but the bear was a real bear attacking innocent families. Dude. Yeah. The final sketch of the evening, in which Bridgerton star Regé-Jean Page took Faye out for a drink after a bra department attendee named Jugs, Emma City, exaggerated the size of her bazonkers, was also well received. Yeah, I bet. Reactions to the spinoff were mixed, with an industry understandably anxious about how the tone of NBC's live sketch show would translate across the pond, where the humor is often not so slapstick. The Telegraph gave it 4 stars out of 5, writing, Tina Fey shines as guest host in shockingly competent spin-off. Predictions that a transatlantic SNL would crash and burn provide wide of the mark. Yeah, no kidding. Just on the description of this review alone, I'm actually... I want to go find it and watch it now. Telegraph, let's see. The Guardian, meanwhile,
Seriously.
Yeah. The Guardian, meanwhile, said the show didn't fail and could have been a lot worse. Lucy Mangan wrote, some may feel they 11 actors and 20-strong writing team drawn from more than 1,200 applicants only just got away with it, but others will feel they managed a bit better than that. At the Sunday Times, the outlet declared, Britain is funny, but this isn't yet. Charlotte Ivers said about the edgy jokes, there's something quite refreshing about seeing TV comedians really push close to the line, but sadly in many cases, the jokes don't live up to the risk. Well, that sounds like a pretty fair take, that they want it to be even more edgier and riskier, but they acknowledge, kind of like we do on our show, that it could improve, could get better. And honestly, get better from what I've heard described, that sounds delightful for the entire world. Another 3 out of 5 stars came from Nick Hilton's The Independent. Some hits, some misses, and a bang on Princess Di impression. He said, adding, judging a show like SNL off its opening episode is foolish. The chemistry between the cast needs time to settle, and the reaction on TikTok and Instagram will likely inform which sketches have legs and which end up in the writer's room bin. Okay. What SNL UK's opening episode does demonstrate is a willingness to push the envelope to risk bad taste. Yeah, I have to give it to SNL and shows like that there was a time when they did do that. Barring a beloved American format might feel a bit stale, but there are notes of new ingredients that could offer something fresh. Right, like not being underneath, being underneath America's cancel culture. You're just stuck with Britain's cancel culture instead, which I can understand is starting to evaporate as well. The sentiment online was also mixed, with Richard Osman and Richard Bacon among the TV personalities telling followers that they loved the first episode. Really pleasantly surprised, said one user on X. Some bits were obviously stronger than others, but it's the nature of a sketch comedy. I thought it was really strong to start the series, and it can only get better from here as they discover what works and what doesn't through trial and error. Another said it was hit and miss, saying, you can't put a show every week and expect it to be gold, but there's enough there that I'd watch it again. For US viewers, catch SNL UK on Peacock the day after the episode airs in Britain. The show's first season has been extended from 6 episodes to 8, with Riz Ahmed and Jamie Dornan among the upcoming hosts. Well, good for you guys. That is exciting for NBC, and okay, so we can watch it on Peacock the next day for legal streaming. Yeah. John, what do you think? I mean, you seemed excited.
Dude, honestly, like, I knew that SNL was on the up and up again because they actually decided to let Shane Gillis come on, so it's probably fantastic. I haven't watched recently. I've seen a few of the TikToks and the, like, shorts of it, but I haven't actually watched a full-length episode recently. But then to hear, like, the UK one just sounds like the uncensored American one. And for it to be the debut episode, what, 35, 50 years later? I don't remember when SNL originally started, but like, that's impressive. Especially when Nostalgia Bait is on the decline. Like, for SNL to not only do so well that, like, somebody trying to write those sketches made us laugh.
Well, and that's the thing is it didn't sound like they were trying to, like, force the show into the British culture, like try to make all the British jokes, and like they're not trying to kowtow or appease so much, but they're probably going to integrate some of it. Like they said, it's a trial and error show with sketch comedy. Some of that shit had me laughing reading it out loud in the most boring way possible. That tells me it's probably hilarious. So I mean, yeah, it's that's a surprise. Honestly, I'm surprised by that article. I honestly thought we'd be, making fun of it more hardcore. I'm actually excited to go watch.
I'm surprised that it, like, actually made it sound good. Like, I don't know what their intent was, because I couldn't tell by the article. It kind of sounded like they were trying to make it seem more raunchy and, like, lewd. And I was like, yeah, that sounds hilarious. Like, okay, I want to watch it now.
Right. Yeah. And I wasn't putting any exaggeration or spin. I was trying to, newsletter read it like I always do. Netflix Assassin's Creed series setting an exact time period confirmed. Oh, well, like that's gonna mean anything. Netflix's live-action Assassin's Creed series will be set in ancient Rome and kick off in the year 64 AD. And let me guess, this will be the ancient Rome of complete and total rainbow diversity, which, don't get me wrong, existed in parts where Rome was colonized. But, you get closer to the capital, things start to look pretty consistently one color.
Well, I disagree mostly because Rome was the height of mercantile movement.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of wandering, the amount of writings other cultures have about visiting Rome is insane. So, like,
so it was legitimately diverse. So Netflix might actually get this one right, you're saying, with its DEI casting.
Exactly. Like, that's what I mean. This is one of the few time periods and locations where diversity was 100% a thing. And
so maybe that's why they picked it. Which, hey, finally they're figuring it out.
Right, like, but like in the most, like, what modern audience supposedly wants way without being historically inaccurate. Like,
so pick an era where you can make it work.
Exactly, and you get the actual bad guy you've wanted to talk about for the last 25 years, but have been too scared to. Like, what is the Templar, if not, like, Ubisoft's way of saying the Catholic Church without saying it? Well,
the Section 31 elements of the Catholic Church, I would say.
Right, but at the same time, like, That's what I mean. In this case, you're still not picking fights with anybody. You're saying there was this terrible group that did try to do this, and this other group tried to stop them. And you get to have all of the casting choices you want because you didn't choose to make the game in Europe, right? Like Northern Europe. Like the last one was in Japan. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I just thought the main storyline was, I don't know, stacking. Like it really just felt like I was climbing a pyramid, and I haven't finished it yet, but I liked the gameplay overall. But then the one before that was Valhalla, and like a lot of people supposedly, like a lot of these commenters were like, I can't believe this game doesn't have as much diversity. And it's like, well, you're playing a character in Britain as it's being ransacked and raided by Vikings. That's kind of what happened. So like you wrote an entire portion about America so you could have some diversity in the story. And like that's the part to me where it's like, this is the first story that they're doing in line with all of their ideals, but also on location. Like you can't give it the how are those people there treatment, and you can't go, well, they weren't that gay, because like ancient Rome was that gay.
Yeah.
And also the church was on its up and coming rise. So like the Templars can be just as pervasive as they want to be.
Yeah. Various reports had pointed to a Roman Empire set series previously, though Ubisoft today confirmed the exact time period and setting via a post on social media alongside a recap of the show's large cast. History buffs will know that 64 AD kicks off a particularly turbulent time for Rome, which also makes it a strong setting for an Assassin's Creed story. This was the year that 2/3 of the city was destroyed by fire, a major event in Rome's history whose cause remains unknown. The fire sparked a wave of Christian persecution by Emperor Nero, who was keen to find a scapegoat. The following year, Nero was then the target of a notable assassination plot, which failed, spoilers, something that seems certain to be included in the series. Nero continued on for several years despite growing conflicts within the empire. Rather than deal with those, however, Nero famously popped over to ancient Greece to compete in the Olympic Games. Mysteriously, he was allowed to win every contest he entered, earning some 1,808 prizes overall. Oh, G. And that's why they call him Nero. Events from this period finally came to a head in 68 AD as Nero fell from power and left the empire on the brink of civil war. You've got to be fucking kidding me. All in all, then, there's plenty here for an Assassin's Creed tale. Yeah, no shit. The Assassin's Creed franchise has visited Rome before, of course, most notably in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, though this was set over 1,000 years later when the Roman Empire was already ancient history. Outside of the series, many games, graphic novels have featured some actual Roman action, though it's believed that the Netflix show will tell an original story. Cool. The series will feature
This is not done years so far. Like there is ancient Greece, there is ancient Egypt, there is like I think 200 AD, which was the first two, like 200 600 AD, and then the Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 3 was like they said 1,000 years later, and then they went all the way up to pre-World War One. I want to say pre-World War One England, and then back to Valhalla, which was post-Rome Valhalla, Britain, and then there was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is closer to like 500 AD Japan, or I think it might even be 1500 AD Japan. And so like Netflix has a wide room to play with here, and they can potentially fix a lot of the story beats that are missing from the rest of the game. Like there is supposedly a modern day assassins group, but we've only met a couple of them, and the ones we keep meeting are like they don't seem like the same people, even though they say they are. So like you can actually add some linear complexity to that storyline, and I feel like a Netflix show is the perfect place to do Assassin's Creed, especially with the whole Animus transition. Like, here's what we know of the past. you go in and do it. And in the game, it all makes sense how you're experiencing all of this and traveling. But like in a show, you can actually have them talking in the earpiece the whole time, helping the main character out, you know, in a more effective way, because there can be more communication, because it's a TV show. And you can do whole episodes where they're in the Animus and then whole episodes where they're not, because that part of the game was always boring because your character didn't have the daggers, and it was weird to be fighting guys with guns because you would die every time, and they knew that, so they didn't make you do that. You know?
Yep. Hollywood Reporter says it's time to end the Bachelor franchise. I agree. The abuse fuels me. Harry Potter star TV actor Papa Asidiu, definitely butchered the shit out of that, slams racist backlash following Snape casting. This is coming to us from IGN. Harry Potter TV series actor Papa E has spoken out about the racist abuse he's suffered since being cast as Hogwarts professor Severus Snape. Honestly, dude, oh wait, let me read it first, then I'll say my thing. Studio is English of Ghanaian descent, was announced as taking on the key role of Snape back in April of 2025. The news sparked widespread discussion of the actor's choice for the role, which has previously been played by Alan Rickman in the original Harry Potter movies. Now, Asidiu has commented on the racial element to the backlash, and in an interview with The Times, said he'd been told, "Quit or I'll murder you." Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's going way too far. Sure as hell don't endorse that level of criticism. I mean, while we on this network have certainly aired our concerns as far as sticking to the source material and, you know, these kinds of risks you take when casting somebody like this, and it's in any kind of role, it's not just this one specifically. Imagine if we, you know, Ryan Gosling as Martin Luther King, let's make it happen. The reality is that... Huh?
How many people really care that much?
I don't care that much to threaten his life. I also don't care that much to threaten his career.
Dude, at the same time, it's wizards. Like, oh, the book had it one way and the TV show doesn't. Then go watch the movies. They're very good.
Here's the thing.
But then also, like the whole reason they're doing this show is the same reason I'm not going to watch it. Like, it is 100% a cash grab. Like, I read the book on my road trip this weekend. We listened to it on the car, the first one. And you could add maybe like 3.5 scenes. Like, there's no Tom Bombadil hiding in the book. At most, there's a couple extra arguments on certain sides. There's like a couple scenes in the school. Like, all you are doing is trying to cash in on Harry Potter, which has already been thoroughly cashed in on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just write a different, like, you can go into that Wizarding World, that other series that came out that's supposed to predate Harry Potter. Was a lot of fun. A lot of people liked that. The problem that nobody had any faith in it was, like, it didn't have a point. Like, people were saying this is the story of how Voldemort came to be, and we're like, well, we already know how he dies. And, like, it's not Star Wars.
Yeah.
We want to see more wizard stuff that has nothing to do with Voldemort or Harry Potter. We want to see the wonderful world, and then you just read an adventure novel.
The reality is, if I look at Instagram, I will see somebody saying, "I'm going to come to your house and kill you," Sidio said. While I hope I'll be okay, nobody should have to encounter this for doing their job. No, they shouldn't. That's beyond, you know, the criticism of, okay, we're departing from the source material. This is a risky play. And it is. It is.
Is that true, though? Because I feel like Instagram bans those comments before you even post them. Like, if I try to say something that goes against a politician, I have to censor my words. Because, like, Instagram won't let me post it. Like, I do get that this guy is nervous and stuff, and he probably doesn't mean Instagram. He probably means something else, or somebody else said that he saw it on Instagram.
Well, that's the thing. You can get past the censors if you take screenshots of comments on, like, X or any of the other not-so-censored platforms.
X makes sense. I haven't seen X do very good on bullying.
They've started to lately.
There you go. That's what I mean more, is it's like, I get that you're nervous when you go on your Instagram and look yourself up and you see bad things, but, like, That's why everybody says don't read the comments.
The
Like,
abuse fuels me, he continued, and makes me more passionate about making this character my own because I think of how I felt as a kid. I would imagine myself at Hogwarts on broomsticks, and the idea that a kid like me can see themselves represented in that world, that's motivation to not be intimidated by someone saying they'd rather I died instead of doing work I'm going to be really proud of. Congratulations, Mr. Acedo.
yeah,
Acedo, I hope I one day pronounced your name correctly. You passed the test. You absolutely understand the character of Serbius Snape, or is that his name? Is Severus Serbius. If your line is the abuse fuels me, that's pretty much understanding. I mean, that's basically what the character's driving force was his spite and animosity. And so, yeah, I think you not only understand the character well, I think you understand the job well, which, you're right, nobody should have to be threatened in their line of work. And honestly, it's ridiculous that actors have to put up with it, but we also have to consider what he's saying here for a second really does go beyond whatever your job is. The only danger that anyone should have are work hazards that are more or less unavoidable. Even police shouldn't have to be threatened for doing their job. Now, unless they're, being boot steppers and, stepping on people's liberty and trying to steal people's lemon pound cake and then suing them for that. That's a whole different. Authoritarianism negates that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good guys who actually put on uniforms, whether it's police, firefighters, or paramedics. They don't deserve to be threatened either. Nobody in their line of work, whether you are an actor, whether you are a first responder, whether you are a soldier, anything, nobody should ever have their lives threatened regardless. It's not, or making sandwiches at a store or, working at the gas station. Everyone should feel some sense of security and safety in a society that we all agree to build together. And so I think what he's saying here is really, it is correct in what he's, and I not only admire and respect his resolve, but I feel a lot better overall about what he's bringing to the character, what he's going to add to the universe. And, this does not feel like any kind of shoehorned in forced diversity situation. This feels like he liked the character of Snape and wants to play Snape, and absolutely, I think, is going to crush playing Snape.
Yeah. Honestly, though, it just goes more to the idea that this is the punishment of, doing somebody else's work that's still pretty good in terms of, CGI and all of that. If they had written any other story about the Hogwarts universe and it had no Snape, the video game, the newest one, Hogwarts Legacy, you could have done that. You could have literally made it so that, you're just telling a new story about a few years later in the Hogwarts verse. You might see Harry cameo in. You might see Hermione be one of the teachers. But, then you can have Black Snape and everybody has to go, well, yeah, it's the future. Things changed. Obviously, they got hit with the same hiring problems that every other college got hit with. Or turns out he's a really great teacher. He's much better at potions because he's actually enthusiastic about it, because everybody knows Snape always wanted to do the dark arts, right? Protect against the dark arts, but he never got allowed to because of his deal with Dumbledore. But at the same time, now you don't have to have that deal. The biggest part about this is more we're going to take something everybody knows and loves and we're going to see if we can make it work. When you could go, we're going to take the world everybody knows and loves and see if we can add to it. And then everybody has to go, well, you didn't ruin my thing, but you did this wrong, or you did that right, or you did this right, or you did that wrong. But it's a lot harder to be I've seen better when it's about something new in the same world than it is to go like this, because people will always have a leg to stand on, more just because the other 7 movies are already done. Yeah. So you have to get all 7 books done before you can be see, we knew what we were doing. And that's just an uphill battle you didn't have to pick, especially not 20 years into the nostalgia generation.
Divisive Star Trek Starfleet Academy canceled after 2 seasons. Thanks for Hollywood Reporter for providing the banner for this. I obviously don't need to go into this big detail because, well, if you've been following this podcast, you know that we watched every episode of Starfleet Academy, and boy, are we just not shocked by this result at all. We were shocked that it got renewed for a 2nd season, but I think that was an overambitious, desperate decision by Kurtzman to keep it on the production schedule to try and encourage some I don't really know what the plan was, because while we've got William Shatner out there talking about the show being canceled over wokeness, that's not why the show was canceled at all. The show is canceled because it sucks, because the writing is bad, because while there's little glimmers of okay Star Trek, this would have been passable if this was the first Kurtzman property that had come out, or something like it had been what Kurtzman had done. This is, like, supposed to be the, flagship show that saves the franchise and rewrites, rights the ship. And I think that, honestly, while I'm happily showing up for season 2 to watch the end of it, I think at this point it's just better to just flush the rest of the turd of Kurtzman Trek and put it on ice for a couple years and start over. But John, what do you think?
Well, dude, I love that they say there's a season 2, but somebody already said this line on the Night's Watch podcast, and I still think it's the exact one. They made one season, a 20 episode season, and they're trying to sell it for 2 seasons, 10 episodes per season. Like, they did half of the work that most Star Trek shows did, and then tried to say that they did all of the work in 2 seasons. Like, it really goes to show how bad the show is in terms of, like, their ethic. They're doing less work, making worse writing, and they'll do whatever it takes to make themselves look good. Like, it says canceled after 2 seasons, so it's like, look at that, we got one canceled after 2 seasons rather than canceled after 1.
Yeah.
But, like, that's only because you wrote 20 episodes, completed filming 20 episodes, and then sold 10 for now and 10 for later.
Yeah. Real quick, at Paula1966 comes in and said, "Hello, if you've watched the trailer for Maul Shadow Lords, do you both think that the pink Twi'lek will become Darth Talon?" From what little I've seen on those trailers, I do. That was my initial thought. I thought maybe she is that's going to be the bit of a reach. Of course, I think that would put Talon out of where she's supposed to show up in the canon, which is, of course, during the Thrawn trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, I do. And I will say this as well, since you're bringing up Star Wars. We are looking to review Star Wars Episode 4 sometime this week, either as a special podcast or we push it into next week's Tuesday E2IP. But this week, I will say that Maul Shadow Legends is why I'm a little less worried about Mando and Grogu being more of a kid's Star Wars movie. Maul Shadow Legends is clearly showing that, no, this is what, a more mature animated show can be, and it looks very, very much what I expect from a, more older generation, older Star Wars fan geared series. So I do think that that could be Darth Talon. If not, could be another, or Maul Shadow Lords, not Legends. Sorry, hard to misquote that when Maul is a Shadow Legend himself. But yeah, back to Star Trek. I wanted to like the show. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to do good, but it only had good little moments, like we've talked about ad nauseum. It's another reminder once again that Alex Kurtzman has no clue what he's doing. Just should have handed the keys to Terry Matalas and greenlit Star Trek Legacy was clearly the mistake that was made there. But no, he wanted to, I'm going to prove my Star Trek platform is for everybody. And that's the other problem. Like, we just, We loaded way too much into a first season. Like, we literally broke the back of this poor show, loading up so much that needed to be dripped out content over, like, what should have been the focus was a contemporary Starfleet show about some misfits that we're gonna take a couple of seasons to get to know. Not, here's, this gay Klingon. And, he's great because he's also gonna be so stereotypically gay Klingon that he's not gonna kill anybody. He's gonna be a healer, and he's gonna be really sensitive. And this ticks off all of our boxes all in one character. Which could have worked if we had done it slowly over time, and we had mainly maintained him being a mystery. But we didn't. We had to do all of our grandstanding and lecturing in every single episode. And then we had more crazy other people of misfits that maybe probably shouldn't be going into space if they're going to eat their comm badges. And it's just... And then on top of that, we have all of this other extra world building going on outside of the Academy, except... This is what's really crazy. The Academy is directly involved in all of this world building because the plot's gotta happen and the kids have to be involved right in the plot while simultaneously finding themselves through a college show that's about college kids, but then it's gonna be philosophical about all this other philosophical stuff. And then, but it's also gonna be, we're also gonna change a bunch of other crap with the Klingons and we're gonna make them all kind of isolationist on top of that. And then we're gonna introduce the Venari Raw, which have been destroying everybody. And then we're gonna put in another thread about the bird. And then we're possibly going to destroy Warp Drive again with Omega, and oh my god! We literally, who frickin' sat in a writer's room and said, yeah, this is all a good idea? Holy shit! How the hell did we get a second season of this show, let alone a first, let alone Star Trek Discovery Beyond season flippin' 3? It's insanity. This all should not have gone on this long. What are we doing, Hollywood? Like, yes, you can have your messages and your grandstanding, but you've got to do it in little 15% bits. And the entirety of Star Trek from 1966 to 2005, there's about 15% of philosophical moments, of holier than thou, this is when we got to be the better guys, and this is when we got to be on the right side of history. The other freaking 85% of the show is entertainment, is bad guy of the week, is how do we get out of this crazy conundrum that only sci-fi can put us in the first place. And it's all good, and it's all part of what makes Star Trek, but it makes sense. It takes its time to build these universes. We don't get slammed with a whole bunch of, oh my gosh, here's Sisko, the single dad on DS9, and here he is, the emissary, and he's got to solve all these problems. No! We get, here's Sisko, the single dad, coming out of Wolf 359. Oh, that's pretty believable. We could totally buy into that. Oh, and he's going to happen to be a religious icon because he just found this wormhole thing that leads to the other side. Boy, we're packing a lot into the pilot episode. Yeah, you're right. Let's slow it down and focus on stuff weekly at a time. Oh, and it did. Aside from having one of the worst episodes of Star Trek ever, Invasive Procedures, DS9 Season 1, 2, and 3 are really flippin' good TV. I don't care if you're a Star Trek fan or not. If you have not watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, just go watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine. If you care about the context, go research the context if you really want to. But if there's one Star Trek series that I still have to clutch my pearls on and really just encourage people to go try, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That is still the king of all Star Treks, still the best series, still the proper deconstruction of Roddenberry's vision and then reconstructing it in a way that makes sense for people to attain. All right, John, you got to enjoy a free, several minute rant from me. What do you think?
Yeah, big agrees. I mean, more than anything, it's like, so you're paid to do. Did you really consider that good? Take a beat, especially if you're not gonna actually come back for Star Trek. There's all the talk that it's officially dead, and there's a lot of people that are like, please be dead. We've killed you enough times this year. Please stop making new Star Trek.
Star Trek.
The likelihood of that actually happening is next to zero. So what I say is, please take a vacation from your phones, from the internet, and go and actually like write this down. And then give it to somebody else to judge and edit. And then take another vacation and look over those edits again without your phone. So that way you can write this without thinking about anything actively going on at the same time. Because it feels like half the show is trying to address real-time events, and the other half of the show is trying to tell a complex story, and neither are being told because both have different like feelings being said at the same time. And it's like, that's the problem. You can pick something that's up with the times and say, we're going to do an episode on that. But we're going to take the time to write an episode that makes sense in the season because we wrote a full season that makes sense. And then that's where you go from 10 episodes to 14 and then 14 to 20 because you write a bunch of episodes that are about topics of the week while actually having a through line throughout the entire season. And then from there, you can write multiple seasons with even longer through lines. Like Deep Space Nine didn't set up season 1. It set up Deep Space Nine, the show, in the first episode. And then season 1 was one little bit, and season 2 was another, and and nothing has been resolved or concluded because we didn't need to solve the Omega problem yet. Like, as far as I got into, I think, season 5, there was still, everything was either like progressed, stacked upon, changed, evolved, metamorphosis. Like, some things are not at all where episode 1 was, but they all spawned from episode 1. They all have parts of episode 1 still attached to them. That's what makes it so good and so captivating. Most shows don't rely on that much entrance, and that's fine. But like Game of Thrones was so great for the majority of it because the first season was the same as the next 4. And then it spun out. And it really only spun out because the writers didn't know what they were doing anymore. And that's the issue. Like, know what you're doing before you commit to it because you can. You have the money. And you obviously have the wherewithal. So go home and do your homework for a couple months. And then come back and go, I forgot to look at my phone because I was busy actually learning how to write good Star Trek. Like, that's always been an option. I don't care who does it. Kurtzman, the next guy after Kurtzman, just somebody go home and do some homework before you write the next Star Trek.
Yep. All right. Time to conclude the show with a bit of somber news, as I mean, most everybody already knows. But on this show, we do try to take a moment to acknowledge when people of influence, especially directly in our lives, pass away. And of course, one of the most manly men of all time, Chuck Norris, sadly has departed the mortal world, off to conquer eternity at 86 years. A lot of people probably, well, I most notably remember him as Walker the Texas Ranger, even though I never actually watched that show because Mother insisted it was stupid, and well, he was. I don't know. But of course, you know, he was one of the most just manly men out there, constantly promoting masculinity, but in a very positive and genuine way, and trying to live his best and fullest life. And I think it's safe to say that at 86 years old, he definitely lived a full life. John, any thoughts?
Every Chuck Norris joke I heard is a lie. Turns out death won.
There was one that I had heard that was actually really good, but it was so good I forgot it, and I wanted to remember it because it was like the best one I had heard, and I didn't. Oh well. I'll remember it after the podcast.
Good ones. Like, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he does earth downs.
Yeah, well, he did anyway.
Chuck Norris doesn't touch death because death won't let him. Like, what was it? Chuck Norris tried to shave with The Rock, but The Rock was scared of getting sharpened.
Right, yeah.
Chuck Norris jokes are fantastic. I think it's incredible that he made it to 86. Honestly, I thought all of the jokes were because he was dead for so long. I'm not good at staying up to date with what people are doing in their real lives. I just like what they watch, like their shows.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be he'll be legendary for a while longer, and it's always sad to see someone like this go, but yeah, let's join us in a quick moment of silence for Chuck Norris. All right. Please consider joining us next week or sometime this week for our Star Wars revival. But we will also be back to review the first episode of season 5 of For All Mankind. Otherwise, I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, tuning in. We had a great show tonight. I think we're going to have a great one next week. And, we'll see what happens for the summertime. I think this year I'm actually going to show up every week, but we'll see. I'll see you then. Good night. This has been the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Writer Brothers. The Writer Brothers, restoring respect in a discourse. Good night.